Hey, I'm back again on this Friday. What time is it when I'm doing this? I don't know. We're going on 6 o'clock, but I thought needed to jump in. I wanted to jump in after a busy day to talk about the Cardinals bringing Jordan Walker back to the majors. He's, as you know, he's in Yankee Stadium with the Cards, 3 games against the Bombers, and we'll see. Should be a fun weekend. Just the matchup itself is fun, but it's been an interesting couple of days because the Cardinals, of course, they put Tommy Pham on waivers, and then today they announced they designated him for assignment. And the one thing I want to clear up, at least in my opinion, I know the money thing was brought up a lot by the media, and I assume that there are some of you, some fans, whatever, say, well, Cardinals are cheap, they're doing this to save money. Listen, it's not like Tommy Pham had all that much left on his contract, and the Cardinals were going to have to pay the rest of it for the remainder of the year, or the remainder of the season, I should say. And the only way that would have changed is if some other team signed him. But I mean, the amount of money we're talking about is just nothing major, nothing to worry about. I mean, this is like piggy bank money, and I'm sure, like with the piggyback money, Bill DeWitt's probably got armed security to protecting it. I get it, but my point is that's not why they made the move. First of all, Tommy Pham didn't listen. I'm a Pham guy from way back. I loved it when they acquired him, and man, he started off with that grand slam home run, had three other good games, and I thought, well, this is really good. They got him to kind of boost this offense, especially against left-handed pitching, but after he got off to a good start, and that included a couple of home runs against left-handed pitching, he really fell off. And if you look at his final 47 plate appearances as a Cardinal this time around, no matter where he hit, he batted against right-handed pitchers or left-handed pitchers. Final 47 plate appearances, 077 with 6 strikeouts. And I should take that back. 077 with 13 strikeouts, and his month with the Cardinals, he hit 194 against left-handed pitching, 194, and then his final 14 at bats against lefties, he was 0 for 14 and had 1 RBI. And I have to look at my notes, and I apologize. So as much as I love Tommy Pham coming back, I love the idea of Pham, strengthening a major weaknesses, which is their futility, relative futility against left-handed pitching. He just wasn't really delivering. And maybe he can latch on with another team, and someone will use him as a platoon guy or whatever, because he's been an effective postseason performer. But the Cardinals ain't going to the postseason, so it's irrelevant. I mean, they got him to make a final push, him and Eric Fetty, and the Eric Fetty deal is entirely separate, okay? Pham was included in this thing because the Cardinals wanted him as an add-in, and the White Sox had no problem doing it as this part of this 3-way trade. I've seen some people try to put the Fetty and Pham thing together. No, Fetty was brought in to help the team the rest of the way this year, but mostly the appeal was to have him in place for the rotation in 2025. But let's separate the two. Let's just separate the two. And, some people are, complaining about Tommy Edman trading up on him. Tommy Edman is redundant because Brendan Donovan's doing the job that Tommy Edman did. And Tommy Edman, there's a real possibility, or there's a real concern about his ability to stay healthy. I'm not sure. I like him a lot and wish the best, but he's been a below average hitter on the whole the last couple of seasons. And, not real good against right-handed pitching. So I don't sit around and worry about that. That's just me. I don't mean to sound so cranky, by the way. Maybe it's late in the day and I'm just like, I'm going to get this off my chest. So that's what I'm trying to do. So the Tommy Pham thing, getting rid of him had nothing to do with money. It had everything to do with something they should have done earlier this month, which is you get Jordan Walker up here and you play him every day, with the only exception being an injury. Well, he'll have to miss a game or two or something like that. I still do not understand, and nor will I ever understand. And I did speak to Oli Marmol about this, and I still don't understand it, even though he tried to explain it. And I respect him very much for that. You bring Jordan Walker up to the major leagues, and he had been on a roll. He had been pummeling pitching down at Triple A for about 2.5, 3 weeks. It was huge numbers. And they bring him up. And it's, Oli Marmol has this plan. Well, we're going to make him a platoon bat. What? Well, he's going to. We need help against left-handed pitchers, and he can really help us there. Jordan Walker last season, as you all know, as a right-handed hitter, was much better against right-handed pitching. I mean, it was by a substantial difference. Just because a guy swings from the right-handed side of the plate doesn't mean, oh, well, we need him to beat up on those lefty. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. There are all kinds of examples in baseball of guys. I don't know if you want to call it a full reverse split, but the whole righty versus lefty thing doesn't apply to them. And you actually want Jordan Walker in the lineup all the time against right-handed pitching, because last year he put up really good numbers against them. I mean, really good numbers, including like a 478 slugging percentage, high average. He had an extra base hit every 11 at bats. This is last year, as against right-handed batters. So this whole, as I described it at the time, and I'll use the word again because I like the word, this was a cockamamie plan. It made no sense. So he was here for a week, and the Cardinals had 6 games, and he only started in 3 of the games. And he didn't play in 2 of the games. Like, he got into 4 games, started 3, didn't play at all in 2. I think I have that right, but you get the point. And of course, he went 1 for 3 against right-handed pitching when he was with the Cardinals for a cup of coffee earlier this month. He didn't do anything against left-handed pitching, and that's exactly what I said before he came up. And so, what do you mean you're going to platoon him? For this guy to fully develop, man, he's got to play every day. You got to quit fooling around and messing around and screwing around with this guy. So I like the fact that Oli Marmol told the reporters on the scene covering the Cardinals at Yankee Stadium that he's going to play. We're not going to platoon him. He's going to have a nice run here. He's going to have a month, and he's going to play every day. No platoon. No. Well, number one, you know what that is? That's do I give them credit for this in a way? Give them credit for what, Bernie? Give them credit for basically admitting they screwed up by bringing him up to the majors and making him sit on the bench and watch when he was like on a roll down there at Triple A. You're going to interrupt that to turn him into a part-time player? What the heck were they thinking? So to me, they get him back up here really soon. To me, I take it 100%, among other things. They're admitting they made a mistake with this stupid plan that they had. And now, oh no, he's playing every day. Well, he's got to play every day. He's 22 years old. We saw what he could do, even with some struggles last season. I mean, his final 30 games as a Cardinal in 2023, the numbers were fantastic. And his overall rookie season was fantastic in terms of his inexperience. He had never played above the Double-A level before. And he had a good start. He cooled down. And he spent some time in the minors, and he got things straightened out. And he was better when he came back up. And he was really, really good down the stretch. So you got to build on that. And the Cardinals put him on, obviously they put him on the roster to start the season. He played 22 games, and he wasn't very good. I'm not going to sit here and make stuff up. He wasn't very good. But I see the Milwaukee Brewers, for example, with their young outfielders, their young players, and they're just one example. There's many examples. These guys that are really, really young, they struggle. Not all of them, but there's a lot of them struggle. And you see a team like the Brewers, with Chiriot, their phenom outfielder, he was awful the first couple months. He hit 200, just awful. They were like, well, that's okay. I mean, he's our future. We know he's going to be a terrific player. We're going to invest time in him. We're going to invest patience. And it's going to pay off, and it has paid off. I don't have the numbers with me right now, but he's been an outstanding hitter and player since the All-Star break. But the Cardinals like pulled the plug on Walker right away in April. And it took him a while to kind of get his swing where it needed to be, his plate approach and all that. And he was making, bombs away progress in Memphis. They bring him up, and then they put him on the bench, and they don't play him every day. And they think that his strength is hitting left-handed pitching when it's actually hitting right-handed pitching. So are they going to screw this up again? I mean, if you're Oli Marmol and John Mozeliak, and if you're the hitting coaches, and I'm definitely looking at the hitting coaches, it's okay about other players. You don't have to obsess over Paul Goldschmidt. Why don't you obsess over these young guys who fail under your watch way too often? They break down because young hitters do that. They go into slumps. They lose some confidence. They get lost. Why is it that other organizations can fix these guys and get them back on track? Well, one thing, maybe you don't allow your veteran hitters to hire the batting coach, okay? Just a thought. Maybe you make sure you have batting coaches in place who are excellent at teaching young hitters and saying, hey, this is the plan. I know this will help you. Let's go. Let's go. We're going to do this. This organization, man, it's just mind-boggling. It's just absolutely mind-boggling. So I'm glad they've seen it and they realize they made a really ludicrous mistake by giving the bum's rush to Walker after they brought him up and sent him down and I'm exaggerating on purpose, they sent him down, like 9 minutes later, right? And I give him credit because I did wonder about this, because if I'm Walker, I'm like, my goodness, what the heck, what's up with this organization? They bring me up and I'm back in Memphis, in 15 minutes. He went down there and he re-entered the lineup and he hit. He did well, man. He shook it off. He just said, oh, no, I got a job to do. I got to get better. And I like that maturity because, listen, Jordan Walker's a really good guy. I'm not disparaging his character or anything like that. Certainly not his intelligence. He's very, very smart. But I've said this before, some players just mature at a different speed than others, like Mason Wynn, for example, who is a year older than Walker. Mason Wynn is advanced for his age. He is really, really mature in that baseball way. He can figure things out. He can make adjustments. He corrects himself. Not all youngsters in the big leagues are like that. And I think it's up to Walker this time to really dig in. I mean, really dig in with all the determination he can summon to do what he has to do to get this thing rolling for him again. And I hope that the batting coaches will have something to put in that may be of value, but let's just say I'm not optimistic about that. I hope I'm wrong. But Jordan Walker is a huge, huge piece to this team going forward in 2025. If they can get him going again, think of the impact it will make for next year's team. So you give him this month, you see what transpires, you put him in a better place, you make sure the head wires are all connected, he's feeling good, confidence is up, all that stuff. But if you can't, you're giving him another chance this season, and if you can't get this thing right, if you screw it up again, because we know he's capable of being a terrific hitter, but if you can't summon that out of him and you find a way to screw it up again, why in the world would any of these people keep their jobs? I'm serious. How many of these young hitters, I'm sorry if I'm screaming into the microphone because I moved forward. How many of these young hitters have to fail before somebody in charge over there says, we got to go with a whole new cast here of maybe the manager, maybe the coaches, whatever. We've got to just do something entirely different. It's an organizational failure. And this is part of the thing that's got to change for the St. Louis Cardinals. They can't keep having these talented guys go off a cliff. And before anyone in the organization can actually pull them away from the cliff's edge as they're starting to just spiral as hitters. Dylan Carlson, Tyler O'Neill, who else? There's a bunch of them. Why am I? Oh, Nolan Gorman, Jordan Walker. They gave up on Juan Yepes. Didn't get anything for him because they basically released him after last season. He's doing a hell of a job for the Washington Nationals. You think maybe there's a couple things they could have done to get him on track? I mean, this just, my wife, God bless her, but every Halloween season, and I'm talking about starting in September, her and her sister, they watch like the Halloween movies over and over and over again. And I tease her about that. And I'm like, how many times have you seen this? And I'm just teasing her. She can watch what she wants. She loves the Halloween movies, right? I mean, literally the movies, the Halloween, Halloween 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 9, Halloween 33, all those. Doesn't matter. Every month of October, that thing plays like on an endless loop in our home. And I think it's funny and I love it, but I got to tease her about it. Well, I'm starting to think this reminds me a little bit of that when I look at all these young players, like time after time after time. They all go into their own little Halloween movie, don't they? Right? And it happens again and again and again. You keep playing it all over again. Same chapter, same story, same storyline. Young hitter, full of life, full of vim and verve and confidence, and just like, oh man, here comes the bad guys, and these young hitters meet their demise. It's just like getting caught in one of those damn Halloween movies. So I can't believe I'm talking this long about this, but I had to get it off my chest. And thank you for your support, and also thank you for maybe adjusting your viewing schedule, because I know it's best when I do these things earlier in the day. But sometimes when there's some news, I got to jump in based on the timing of the news. And this is the first chance I had to get out the equipment and do this. But listen, you all have a wonderful weekend. Please leave your comments. They're great. Please encourage people to subscribe and hit the like button. And we're growing fast. And I'm getting good, really good positive messages and feedback from YouTube. I want to bring you in on the process. I really am. I've only been doing these videos now for 3 weeks and 2 or 3 days. And the numbers are growing very, very fast. And YouTube just keeps sending me message saying, look, you're doing great. Look at these numbers. They even mention your comments, like all the comments that we get. And they view that as another sign that this is like a really healthy and growing YouTube channel. And they like it. I mean, because they've given me clearance now to sort of go to the next level. And so I couldn't be doing this without you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I know you got, probably better things to do with your time than to listen to me talk about this. But since I'm going to do an emergency video, I just wanted to throw in some other things. And this thing would not be successful without you, and it would not be growing without you, and it would not be getting the attention, the positive attention from you, I wouldn't be getting those positive feedback and attention from the people at YouTube without you playing a role in this. And so I can't thank you enough. And this has been fun. I want to do videos all the damn time now. Because people like them. And I've always been about go where the audience is, give the audience what they crave, what they want. And I've had people say, well, it's a lot of Cardinal stuff. And maybe you should do, things other than the Cardinals. Well, I am, but I don't know how to break this to you, but all the Cardinal stuff I do, the numbers for watch hours and views are phenomenal. Just like when I talk Cardinals baseball at my KFNS radio show, the signal was not good at the station. I'm not going to brag about the numbers, but my monthly downloads of the show podcast I had a couple people at other radio stations who wanted to see, and I'm talking about executives, they wanted to see it. And they're like, this is crazy. There's no numbers like this in the market for show podcasts downloads. And I'm saying that only to tell you that I give people what they want the most, and that's even in the off season. In fact, some of my numbers on the downloads were their largest monthly numbers during the off season, because Cardinals fans crave it, and they crave it even when things are going bad, as it has been the last couple of years, because they want more information. They want to talk about, what do they need to do? What are they doing? What did they screw up? Why didn't they do this? This is a baseball town, and I'll never apologize ever for serving the great baseball fans of St. Louis and Cardinals fans everywhere, because I'm getting views from all over the United States on these Cardinal videos. So I'm not going to call it a Cardinals only channel, but the Cardinals and fans of the Cardinals, that's my foundation. And I'd have to be a complete idiot to somehow betray that. I'm just letting you know how I feel. I will be doing Blues. I will be doing Mizzou. Got about 1,000 views on Mizzou. I think a little bit over 1,000. That was fine. I know that I'll need to grow some other things, but listen, I've been doing it 3 weeks. So far, so good. I always think something can be better, and I'm always going to be, looking for ways to make it better and make more progress. Anyway, I've been carrying on now for almost 22 minutes. I want to just say have a great weekend, and thanks once again. And let's hope the Cardinals can get Jordan Walker back on track, because boy, could he be a huge, huge presence, a difference maker in that lineup in 2025. And they ought to start playing more young guys too. They really need to do this over the last month. And we'll talk about that next week. Y'all, seriously, have a wonderful weekend. Thank you very much.